we are recording, I think.
Cool.
After a few technical issues, we are back recording.
All
Okay,
good.
so welcome to returning guest to the Ultra Running Exam podcast, Hannah Rickman.
Thank you for having me. Nice to see you again, buddy.
Yes, it's nice to catch up. It's nice to see you not dishevelled and
I think
focused.
whenever we meet, at least one of us has to be disheveled, right?
Yes. Well, actually, when you saw me, no, I suppose I was actually. Yeah. So I
Yeah,
sort
you
of
were.
so I was feeling fresh, but probably didn't look fresh.
Not 100%.
And I wasn't that far into the race, was it? That was only
I think
like,
both of us next week, disheveled all week long.
yes, that's it. A week of being dishevelled. Yeah. Looking forward to it. Uh, so you are second place lady, woman, female. What term do you prefer? Because there's always a few arguments
That's all fine.
about the term. And Will was telling us off last year for saying first, second place lady. He said it has to be woman.
I've
So
heard the same thing. I personally do not have any strong opinions.
good. That won't offend you. That's um. So yeah, on reflection, then last year's spine. How did that go for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing, right? It was my first time doing the full spine. I had no idea what to expect, and just had a really great experience. And I think I probably now, like a year on, I've forgotten all of the really rubbish bits. I'm like, oh yeah, it was brilliant. But yeah, definitely I look back at that and I feel like I enjoyed at least some of it, and yeah, enjoyed the challenge of it. I love the Pennine Way. I love the whole event. So yeah, it was a brilliant experience. And I guess it's been, yeah, I mean, pretty much as soon as I finished, I was like, oh yeah, I want to do that again. So yeah, back for more of the same, hopefully.
It's I suppose as someone described it as looking back on a bad relationship. Sometimes you look back longingly and remember all of the good times, but you remember forget all of the bad times.
Yeah, we'll find out, I think.
Yes, those memories will become flooding back.
Yep.
Um, so what have you been up to then in the meantime? That you've been up to quite a lot, haven't you? In the interim, you have been here, there, and everywhere. Every time I see you, you're in a different continent.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a theme of the year. So I guess, yeah, I've been based in Malawi for all of 2023. I moved back to the UK just before Christmas. So I'm now like back in the UK for a little bit. But yeah, so having lots of fun and outdoor adventures in Malawi, few trips back to the UK, the summer spine, and yeah, a couple of races in a couple of different places and weekends in the hills with friends. Yeah, all of the good stuff.
But are you back in the UK permanently now, then?
Back, yeah, all my stuff is in the same place in my tiny, tiny flat where there's currently a kind of spine kit explosion going on in quite a dramatic sense. So there's a sort of clear pathway to get to and from my bed, but other than that, there's not a lot of floor space around.
No, that mine is all. We've got quite a small bedroom, and my side is there's a gap between me and the wall about that far, and it's literally just full all the way down with
Yeah,
spikes.
there used to
So
be a
if I
gap.
fell out, yeah, so if I fell out of bed, I'd probably like get a face full of like micro spikes and things like that.
Like a spike in a head torch.
Not micro spikes. I haven't got micro spikes. What have I got? I've got the bigger ones. What are they? I forget what they're called. There's a name for them. Do they begin with V?
The coil ones or yak tracks or
Not yet tracks. Another brand. Forgotten what they are anyway. Um, what do you think the chances are of getting the spikes out? It's looking very likely, isn't it? With
I
the
know it's soon enough now to actually look at it. But because I think last year, like up until like 4 or 5 days before or something, there was nothing about it being super cold and it just came out of nowhere. So trying to not get too excited or too committed one way or another. I have to say, yeah, I came back from Malawi and I was feeling a bit like nostalgic about British winter, and I'd been seeing everyone's pictures of like crisp days out on the hills. I got back and I was like, what the hell is this? It's miserable. I feel like
yeah,
I'm
you came back at
really
the worst time, didn't you? Yeah,
yeah,
you came
really
back when
rubbish.
it was absolutely chucking it down for days and days and days.
Yeah.
Our road floods in winter, at least like probably 2 or 3 times during a normal winter, but it's only for like a day or 2 days at the most. But I think it was getting on for probably about nearly 2 weeks. It was just completely, the water's just been there and not gone anywhere. And we've been permanently going the long way, which is annoying. But that is the winter that we've had so far, lots and lots of rain.
Right.
And as I was like preparing for, I think I did my longest recce run. Well, it wasn't a recce because I didn't end up on Penarmine. It's just my longest. I did a 50 miler overnight, and it literally rained for pretty much, it rained the whole night, just completely torrential rain the whole night, absolutely hammered me. And I went through all of the kit that I'd got with me, and I was still wet, still soaking wet. And I was like, I remember getting into a public toilet on one of the trails. I think it was which trail is it? I'm trying to think, it's off the oh, yeah, it was a bit of the Tissington Trail. There's a toilet block. And I was in there about 4 o'clock in the morning with the hand dryer going, trying to dry my hats and my gloves and everything. And I
Like you've
thought,
had the full authentic experience.
this
You've been
this is
wet
it.
through in a public toilet at 4 a.m. That's your
Yeah.
Ricky's done, mate. You've
I
achieved.
was, yeah, that was it. Because everyone was like, "Did you really need to do that? Was it necessary?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think it was necessary."
Poor experience.
Well, I know we had like torrential rain on Challenger North for that first night,
Hmm.
but it was warm. It was still warm. I didn't really feel cold at any point, but that was torrential rain. But this was torrential rain plus being cold and wet. And I thought, yeah, at any other time I probably would have jacked it in and phoned the wife and got her out of bed to come and get me in the middle of the night. But I thought, no, this is exactly what I need. Yeah. And it was. Yeah. It made me like think, yes, okay, and now I need to get my finger out, just get a bit more kit and spend some money. The endless kit. What are you hoping for then, weather-wise? Because obviously last year it rained a bit on the first day, didn't it? And then it turned cold, and we had all that snow and everything. What is your sort of best case and worst case scenario as far as the weather goes for the race?
Oh, I don't want to say because I'll jinx it.
Jinx it.
I mean, I think the thing, like, it's long enough that you can have all of the
Everything.
above, right? And you kind of need to be ready to have all of the above. So, yeah, I guess like having had the time since I've been back of getting out on the course back in some pretty filthy stuff, it sort of is what it is. And I think the Pennine Way in winter can always do whatever it wants at any time. I mean, stuff not falling from the sky is always nice. Like, if it could be nice and cool and cold and crisp and clear again, that was delightful. But whatever. It's all part of the experience.
Mm. How did you cope with the snow last year? Is it something that you feel at home in snow as you would in any other conditions?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think we had a sort of dump of snow, and then actually most of the time there wasn't too much more falling. So that was, I guess, kind of easier to deal with. It was just layering up and keeping warm. And I mean, it did get like properly cold. But just about managed to keep myself warm. But I think that's easier to deal with than cold and wet, right? And I think I'd rather have -10 than sort of 1 degree and raining.
Mm.
Which might not be what happens. So we'll see.
Don't jinx it. Yeah, don't jinx it. Yeah, that's it. And there was some gorgeous blue skies, wasn't there, as well?
Right. I mean, it was really special. Hey, like out on Crossfell, felt like you were kind of on the North Pole. Like it was just so wild and magical out there. So yeah, that was pretty special. But whatever, it's all to be expected.
Whatever comes. So as far as your training's gone, then, how has it been? So obviously, follow you on Instagram. I've seen some of the amazing runs you've been doing in Malawi. How do you think that has been? Done lots of mountain running, haven't you? Do you think that is put you in a better position this year than last year with your training leading up to it?
Yeah, I guess I feel like, I mean, to be honest, last year I was doing a lot of the same as well, but I feel like um it's been a pretty consistent year. I felt like I've been, yeah, putting in a good amount of pretty good training. And yeah, I mean, Malawi is just a beautiful place to do that. Like I was super lucky to have, yeah, just amazing places kind of on the doorstep and lots of beautiful mountains, lots of places to go and explore. So yeah, I definitely feel like I've had a year of kind of consistent time on feet in the hills. Maybe like not as specific, but then still like mountain running and lots and lots of up and down. and then yeah, a bit of time over the last few weeks to get the specific stuff in.
Mm. I suppose, having already got through a number of spine races, different distances, your experience on the Pennine Way is probably something that, say, if it's, for example, like somebody coming into it for the first time who's not done a lot of recce's and stuff, you're in a better place, aren't you? Do you feel like, do you not feel any anxiety towards the route, having covered it already and pretty much knowing the route already?
Oh, there's loads of anxiety. Feel all the anxiety. um, no, I mean, I feel like I've done, yeah, I guess I've done all of the route at least two, if not three times in races, in recce's or whatever, which does help a lot. But I mean, it's one thing doing it in the summer, and like I went up Crossfell and hike up Nick in June after the summer spine. I was like, oh my gosh, it's lovely up here. There's all this views. It turns out there's like a beautiful like flagstone path all the way across Crossfell. Like, who knew? I literally had no idea. So yeah, I'll go back again. It'll be the middle of the night in a blizzard, and yeah, back to business as usual. So yeah, I feel like I know it a bit better, but also it's always sort of full of surprises.
Mm. Yeah, and I was quite annoyed when I got to hike up Nick, because I'd seen all the photos and never been up there, and I thought, this, I'm getting my phone ready for taking pictures of this. Got to it and it was all fogged out and you
Yeah.
couldn't see anything. Literally, just all the fog was. It looked quite cool actually, all the fog coming up the side of it and coming over, but I tried to take a photo, but it was pointless.
Yeah, I've been up there 4 times now and I've seen it once. So
25%
yeah,
chance.
not bad.
That's pretty good. That's not too bad. Um, so as far as like your training's concerned, then you're happy with everything that you've done this year. Was anything that you've worked on with, because of your experience last year? Is anything that been laser focused on for this year's race?
That's a good question. I guess I felt like some of the things that didn't go well last year were, I guess, a bit of kind of like general fitness and time on feet. I think also thinking about managing sleep a bit better, trying to cut out some of the faff a bit better. So yeah, I guess like maybe I feel like generally I'm fitter than I was this time last year, and I've had kind of a good block of training, but then also thinking about some of the other stuff around the race as well as kind of ways that there was definitely a lot of room for improvement.
Mm. So what was the issue with sleep then? Too much, not enough, wrong place?
All of the above, yeah. I don't know, sort of slept at times that I wasn't, tried to sleep at times that I wasn't feeling sleepy, woke up still feeling rubbish, faffed around, hallucinated a lot, wandered around in circles and bogs. Yeah, I felt like I didn't get the balance right between recognizing when I needed to push on and when I needed to stop and have a little sleep. So I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure you can really train for that, but I think I've thought about it a little bit more at least. I guess last year it was the first time I'd gone through. I'd done the challenge in North before, but it was the first time I'd done like multiple nights. So yeah, it was always, yeah, felt like a total learning experience.
Did you have a plan going into it, like planning to sleep at a certain checkpoints along the route, or did you just kind of make up as you went along? What, like your first, because that's, I've
Yeah.
been thinking about this, like the first planned sleep, because I know for Challenging North, I knew that I was going to go through the first night, and that I would sleep on the second night at some point, but I wasn't sure where I would be, and it just happened that I was at Alston, and it worked, and I slept there and I felt great.
Hmm.
Um, did you have a plan for that last year? Have you got a plan for that this year?
I had a bit of a plan last year, and yeah, I think maybe I like stuck. So I got into Hawes where I'd planned to sleep and wasn't feeling particularly sleepy, and it was still quite early on the second night, and I felt like I needed to have a sleep because that was a plan, and then so ended up having a bad sleep, and then yeah, and then literally like straight out the door into that second night up onto Great Shannon Fell. There was an abandoned fairground up there. There was like thatched cottages. There were some killer geese running around. Like it was all it was clearly like that sleep did not do whatever it was that it was supposed to do. So yeah, and then after that I just hit everywhere in daylight, which was frustrating because every single checkpoint I came into it was like the middle of the afternoon. Yeah, so I think actually this year I like don't really have a plan, but I think I've got a better idea of like what the options are and what the like what my triggers are when I want to sleep and where the good places to sleep are. So yeah, trying to be a bit flexible, I guess, but have a bit of a bit of an idea about what the possibilities are.
So, in hindsight, would you have recognised now then that that would have been a bad idea to try and sleep at Hawes and just powered straight through and then not waste? How many hours did you waste trying to sleep there?
Don't know. I think it's one of those as well where the time just like evaporates in the checkpoint. Like
Yeah.
in my head, I wasn't in there that long, and then you look at I did work out how long I was actually in there for, and it was hours and hours. You can just when you're inside, nice and warm, and people are being nice to you, feeding you things. It's all very pleasant. You can just vanish a lot of time. So
Amazing. Okay, right. So that wasn't helpful for me while I'm trying to figure out.
sorry, I don't. Basically, I'm still sort of winging it again, but winging it, but with a bit more information.
Everybody I've interviewed, I've just been trying to like glean
Yeah.
a little bit of like inside information from. Yeah, okay, that doesn't help. That's
Sorry.
pretty much
I
my
don't know. I don't know what the answer is. It might go badly wrong again. Find out.
has been quoted many times. Mike Tyson. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face.
Yeah, exactly.
Chris Carter can sum up the spine race, I'd
Yeah,
imagine.
indeed.
um, what about nutrition then? Have you got that? I know because everyone's different, aren't they, with what they use and what they take with them. And everyone's got to carry the mandatory 3,000 calories. How have you sort of broken down your food to take with you?
Yeah, I guess using probably mostly quite similar to what I had last year. So quite a lot of like bars and flapjacks and stuff that I can eat on the go. I've had a kind of side project of perfecting my cheese sandwich making skills. So I feel like I've really got the recipe, like absolutely, absolutely nailed at this point. Perfect cheese sandwiches ready to go. Found it my
Can you
way.
reveal that recipe?
It includes my mother's homemade chutney. So again, that doesn't that doesn't help you. Let's see if she's got a spare jar. I can send you one.
Yeah, I'm favouring. I'm very I'm a big peanut butter enthusiast. So on races before, I've had lots of like soggy peanut butter sandwiches just squished in your pocket, and they're not too bad actually when they're squished up. So
Just a bit pre-chewed. Yes, perfect. Save that precious chewing energy.
yeah, as well as the squeezy peanut butter that I've been recommended to anybody as well. The ones
Nice.
that you can get in like a plastic squeezy jar thing. And I've been using them, so I've managed to get 4 of them. So I don't know how I'm going to divide them up. I'm just having my kit back in me a drop bag and just figure it out somehow.
Grab as needed.
Pork pies and
Yeah,
weird.
pork pies. I'm vegetarian, but pork pies seem to be a popular option.
Yeah, I think because they're quite compact, aren't there? And yeah, there's a few calories in there, isn't there, with all the fat and meat and everything in there. The mini baby bells, they stay quite intact as well.
There was a
Yeah.
guy on the summer spine who had a real like full kind of charcuterie option in his drop bag. Like I was volunteering at Middleton and he was bringing out these like massive sausages, all these kind of cured meats. So yeah, I mean that's
Nice,
maybe
that sounds good.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think they're
I
quite
could go.
calorific.
Yes, I could go for that actually. I fond of the chorizo. I always get told off to pronounce it wrong. We just say chorizo. It's not, is it? It's chorizo.
I think if you're on the Penang Way, it can be chorizo.
Yeah, it can be anything. Yeah, it can be pepperami basically on the
Right. Yeah, that point doesn't matter.
probably is. What about tactics then? So obviously, you did amazing last year, second place lady, female woman, behind the I was going to call her a beast then. That's not really a fair thing to say about a
Yeah,
lady.
I think lady or woman, female is preferred.
Claire, Claire,
A long way behind. Yeah.
Claire Banworth, Claire
Mhm.
Banworth. How are you on? How far ahead was she last year?
A day. Yeah. I think just under 24 hours, but it was pretty close. Maybe it was a full 24 hours. Yeah. No, I mean, she's like extraordinary, right? And she's probably had one of the best years like in ultra
Yeah,
running of
yeah,
anyone in the
yeah,
world. Like
yeah,
just
yeah,
super,
yeah. Other than probably Courtney DeWalter, she's
right.
probably had one of the best. So in my mind, that makes me think that she's probably going to come unstuck at some point. So is this going to be the race that she comes unstuck on? And can you can that play to your advantage, do you think?
That's not how I'm thinking about it. I mean, she certainly does not. Yeah. I mean, she's amazing. And the women's lineup this year in general is just really exciting. Hey, there's so many phenomenal women lining
Mm.
up to do the race. Like, I think it's just going to be, yeah, I'm just going to be fangirling all over the place. Like, it's just a really exciting, yeah, exciting thing to be a part of. And yeah, on the men's side as well. Hey, I think it's just going to be a really, really, yeah, I think it's really cool to have such an amazing lineup and cool to have so many great women there as well.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I've said to a few people that it's as much as I love being in the race and being able to do this year's like full race, I would also love to be doing media again,
Right.
chasing everybody around,
Yeah,
filming.
we're just dot watching on the sofa, you know, a cup of tea. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd definitely love to be, out at the front, filming people coming through and everything, and
Yeah, it'd be
seeing
fun.
the carnage unfold. What have you got any thoughts on how the race will play out from your point of view, as far as how you feel that what is going to be your tactic? Have you got a tactic that you can reveal about how you're going to play the race, or you keeping your cards close?
No, I mean, I'm not, to be honest, like, I think for me, especially something as long as the spine, like, you just gotta, like, for me, I've just got to do my own thing. And I think you can get really, I think it's so long and there's so many ways that you can come unstuck. And so, yeah, I guess, to be honest, like, the racing side of it, certainly anywhere near the first, like, anything in England almost, like, I think there's not really a consideration. Like, I'm not back, like, I'm doing it again because I want to see what I can do on the Pennine Way, and I want to see like the areas where I feel like I didn't do as well as I could have done, and I want to have that adventure again, and I want to go on that journey again. Like, that's kind of my priority. So yeah, and especially with so many amazing people in the race, like, I'm going to be concentrating on making sure that I'm eating when I need to and sleeping when I need to and taking care of myself, and yeah, trying to have a good Pennine Way experience. And that's as far as I've got.
I suppose, yeah, I suppose that's how you've got to think of it, haven't you? You've got to think about yourself first, haven't you? Survival mode, and you can't run anybody else's race, can you? That's the thing. You've got to run your own race, haven't you?
That's it. And different people can be, yeah, different, like sleep stages, or yeah, just doing things completely differently. And I think you just have to be really tuned into your own body and what you need at that specific point. So yeah, just set out, head north, see where we get to.
Which parts of the route are you most looking forward to seeing if you see them in daylight, and which parts are you kind of dreading because you've been there
Uh,
before?
there's a lot of kind of some of the kind of boggy, farmyardy bits that are fiddly, and I think some of those are going to be not, yeah, they're not my favourite. All the bit after Alston, and then
Yeah,
oh man, yeah, that bit.
a few
Anyway,
people
yeah,
don't
so
like
many
that.
nightmare bits. I'll give
Mm.
you my list of bits that I hate. There's a few of those, but yeah, I think all of the kind of dramatic mountain bits, hey, when you get like almost whether or not you get a view, like all of those bits of the big hills and Malham, and yeah, there's lots of exciting parts of the Pennine Way, and I feel like yeah, enjoy different bits every time I see it. I'm looking forward to coming into the checkpoint in Middleton as well and getting my curry. That's a
It's not
strong
Middleton.
priority.
It's not
No,
Middleton.
I know, Langdon Beck. Langdon Beck. I'm looking forward to that. I'm not looking forward to that extra, like, however many kilometers along the river. Um,
Yeah, how much more is it along the
I
river?
did do it in Iraqi last week, and it was quite a bit. I think it's more than 10K for. I don't quote me on that though.
Ooh, oh,
It's definitely like it's gonna feel like a long old way
that
because
does
it's
feel
just
like
trudging along that river as well.
and
Um,
yeah, be
that'd be
tired.
nice to arrive.
Ooh, yeah. Well, actually, I haven't had looked actually. So it's a hostel, is it?
Yeah,
It's
I
a
think it's
hostel,
right, Jay. Yeah.
and you've checked the facilities out, have you?
I didn't go inside, but I had a little scoot around. Looks nice. Yeah.
Excellent, because actually Middleton was, Middleton has a. I've got a bit of a soft spot for Middleton as well because that was the first checkpoint that I ever worked on, so that kind of felt like home. And then you as well in the summer. You've always been at Middleton, haven't you? In the
Two
summer,
summers in a row. Yeah. It feels like home.
It's a shame, isn't it, that that's a bit of an end of an era that they won't be using. I
Well,
don't,
it's always been in a different place in the summer anyway, so
yeah, yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah. So change is good. It's
change is
okay.
good.
Awesome. Well, I don't want to keep you too long. I appreciate you coming on. I know that this week can be a bit frantic. It is for me, even though I feel like I've got everything ready. Have you got anything like last minute things that you've got to do, or things you've got to get last minute, or have you got everything? Is everything sorted?
I think it's mostly sort of, I've got the Sainsbury's order arriving tomorrow of like the
Hmm.
most unhealthy, all multiplied by 6 as well. So like massive quantities of just really, really sugary, delicious stuff. So that's to arrive. And then yeah, once that's done, I think we're pretty much under control-ish. I'm sure there'll be some things to have some last minute anxiety dreams about, but I think it's mostly
Yeah.
sorted.
Yeah, I haven't done the shop yet. I was going to leave it as long as possible, to be honest, because I kind of know what I want. But going in the supermarket, you can always be tempted by other things, can't you? So we'll see whether the plan sticks.
Do
Yeah.
it online and then just for the quantity for everything, is right, 6.
Yeah, that is the reality of it, isn't it? Yeah, it really is that much food.
It is.
Amazing. Well, appreciate you coming on, Hannah, and giving us a quick chat and a catch up, and look forward to seeing you at Edale on when you're checking in. When are you going for kit check and everything?
I'm gonna go. So I've got quite a few friends actually doing the Challenger South and the sprints. So I'm gonna head up with them on Friday. Stay Friday night, see everyone off on Saturday, do my kit check. So yeah, so I'll be hanging about a bit, I think.
Yeah, I'll be. I think I'm kit check the two from 2 o'clock because we've got a friend who's getting married in near. Well, I'm trying to think where it is actually. It's like sort of Sheffield to Chesterfield way. So we're going to the wedding, going to see
Oh,
and see him get married, and
oh man.
and then come over. So it's a bit of a frantic weekend. So I'll be sort of here, there, and everywhere, trying not to stress too much. So I've got to get everything done before Saturday so that I can just wake up Saturday and be like a robot and do the things that I need to do. And I'm
Good
sure
effort.
it'll all come together.
Wow. That is definitely packing it in.
Yes, yeah, but Dan's a good mate. I can't miss his wedding. So
Fair enough.
right. So I'll see you at some point
See you
Saturday,
at some
Sunday.
point there. Yeah, happy days.
Thanks, Hannah. Cheers.
Cool. Nice to see you, mate. Take care.
Bye bye bye.
Bye.